Welcome to my channel. My name is Eric the James. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm at the Christmas Story House. It's one of my favorite places, one of my favorite movies. Today we're going to go on the museum tour, we're going to go on the house tour, and we're going to go on the gift shop tour. If you look behind me, there's the Bumpus' house. I will take some pictures and some video of that. But come along and join me. If you like the video, like, share, subscribe. I'm going to be doing random videos all over, and if you like them, share them. This is the outside. We're here a little early, about an hour, and we're going to be, before they open up. Here's some of the backyard. I heard that the shed is original, just moved around. I think the shed was over in that direction. I'm gonna try and get some outside shots now while I can, and there's nobody here. Here's the door. One of the where the old man parked his car. Here's the front of the house. Here's the mailbox where Ralphie got his decoder pin. I believe in the movie it was over on this side though. Here's the front, and here's the iconic lake, the lamp. The dad loved his award. If you were to rent, which books out quite often or quite early, you would come in this door, you would have access to it, and it's upstairs. You've got the upstairs. A YouTuber named Adam the Woo rented it out. I can't remember much about it, but you go up the stairs and there's a whole apartment up there. So I am outside the gift shop of the Christmas Story. My name's Eric the James. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm gonna go into the gift shop and see what they have, see what's new. And if you look around here, they got some interesting window art that I think's cool. There's the iconic pole scene, a triple dog Daria, the leg, sorry about the glare. And in this window, they got the iconic leg, the Red Ryder BB gun, and the paper, Ralph Parker. So this is the shop. I love these blankets. There's Ralphie. You can buy the leg lamp by Geely, a movie. And they have not only just Christmas Story, the Oogie Boogie. You can see it. My daughter would like that one. Wish it wasn't so. Nightmare Before Christmas. And then the press penny. Elf on the Shelf. There's another one of my favorites.
And obviously she doesn't wear underwear. There are plenty of shopping days left.
Elf.
Which is to say Christmas, as in you'll not a lot, I don't have a lot, but I mean, you know, if I had a lot, not in the sense that you think I said I
There's Kevin from Home Alone. The Doves. They got t-shirts here. Look at that, that's nice. Of course, there's the movie. You can buy cups, shot glasses, little one. I like that cup there. The Genie. Must be Italian. There's the leg lamps. And here's the iconic Red Ryder BB gun. Little Christmas lights. This tree. There's some Christmas ornaments. There's Ralphie, Home Alone, The Grinch. Some of the figurines to ornament. There's a party game. Ralphie hand painted. The old man. That. And there's the iconic suit. The Pink Nightmare. It's not a bad price, actually. There's some slippers. There's an apron. Puzzle. I thought I would like that. I like the cup. Some Cleveland t-shirts. I like that one. It's iconic lamb. Sorry for the twist. Some ties. There's a family bingo. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. Oh, you can buy it. That's nice. I have to remember that. Pink. The Bumpus's dogs. Thumbs up, bud. The hats. There's more kids. There's the crate. The tree scene. Chop suey. Brothers Furniture. Oh, look at that. That is cool. Hat, ties, apron. Bumpus's. Some hats. I love this Christmas tree. I'm gonna show that. Did we miss this one? Anyways, that was the gift shop in Cleveland, Ohio. And this is the backyard where Ralphie shot the bad guys protecting Black Bart. Shed there. I heard it was over there originally. Guy found this house on eBay and rebuilt it. And turned it into this wonderful museum.
Your tour guide for the next 45 minutes or so. We're going to start, and I'm going to give you guys some fun facts about how the movie came together. And when I'm done talking, then you'll have the opportunity to walk around, explore, take all the pictures you want. I will also be here to help assist in taking any pictures if you need a hand. From the house, we'll go out to the backyard, and from the backyard, we'll head over to the museum. Sound good? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, first and foremost, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. All right, so how many of us seen the movie? Okay. How many of us love the movie? Okay. How many of us were forced into loving this movie from watching it for a 24-hour time period on television? That's how I became a huge fan, and now it's a tradition in our homes, right? Now we keep it on. All right, guys, so kind of how this movie came together. There was a gentleman by the name of Gene Shepard. Now, Gene Shepard grew up in the 1930s and 40s in Homond, Indiana. This movie is supposed to be based out of Homond, Indiana, 1930s and 40s. Now, Mr. Shepard is also the narrating voice behind the movie. Now, Mr. Shepard started his career as a radio broadcaster, then he went on to become an author. And one of the books he is most famous for is called In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash, kind of where the story originated from. Now, the director of this film, his name is Bob Clark. Bob Clark is known for a lot of B-rated horror films, and some of you guys might have also heard of a film named Porky's. Yeah, he directed that as well, all right. So Bob Clark was living in Miami, Florida at the time, and he was on his way to pick up a date. And he happened to be listening to one of Mr. Shepard's radio broadcasts. And this broadcast was about a gentleman named Flick, and Flick getting his tongue stuck to a flagpole. Sound familiar? All right. So immediately his directive created mind started going. He was like, oh my gosh, I got a movie in the making. I was told he did not pick up his date. Instead, he contacts Mr. Shepard, and they collaborate, and they come up with this great A Christmas Story movie for us. All right, so now they need some funding. So they contact MGM Studios. MGM Studios gives them a budget of $2.5 million. They also made a deal with Mr. Bob Clark. We will give you this funding if you give us the Porky's 2. Bob Clark is like, sold. So the money that he made from Porky's 2, he used for the rest of the funding of A Christmas Story movie. So now they needed to establish some locations. And Mr. Shepard was really big on wanting to keep this, in a steel mill town, 1930s and 40s. And they had two primary objectives, one being a steel mill town, two being that they were looking for a department store that was willing to leave up Christmas decorations after season, as well as allowing film crews to come in and do some filming, if need be after season. So they put together a crew, they scouted 20 locations. Out of those 20 locations, only one department store reached back out to them. Does anybody know the name of that department store?
Higbee's.
You're absolutely right. Winter meatloaf and mashed potatoes for dinner. It was Higbee's department store. Higbee's is now known as the Jack Casino, which is located here in downtown Cleveland. So they go and they scout Higbee's. Everything is perfect about that store. They still have toys from the 1930s and 40s in the front window that they could use for filming. As they step outside of Higbee's, they have Public Square right there, which is going to be perfect for them to do the parade scene. And as they're leaving Public Square, they see some smoke from a steel mill stack. Meant to be, right? So they decide to follow this smoke in hopes that it leads them into a neighborhood, a house of some sort, where they could have the steel mill in the backdrop. So they're driving around and they end up getting lost and they make a wrong turn, which leads them to come right here down Raleigh Avenue. So they're driving down Raleigh Avenue, stop at this T intersection. The crew is like, oh my goodness, lo and behold, what is sitting in front of them? This house right here is 1930s, or it's 1983. This house is completely outdated, still looking like it's from the 1930s and 40s. As the crew is scouting the exterior portions of the house, they're like, oh my gosh, Cleveland Street's gonna be perfect for the boys to walk to and from school. They have the empty lot next door where they can store all their filming equipment. The backyard's gonna be perfect for Ralphie to shoot his eye out. And the front porch is big enough for Dad to bring in his major award. So we're like, all right, we got to figure out who the owner of this house is, see if we can film a movie here. So they knock on the door. Nobody answers. They're like, shucks, now what are we gonna do? So the crew looks across the street and they see the Raleigh Inn. The Raleigh Inn has been open since 1906 and is still going strong today. So they decide to go over to the Raleigh Inn, have some drinks, do some talking with some people, see if they can figure out who the owner of the house is. So as they're over there chatting, lo and behold, guess who's sitting next to him? The owner of the house. His name was John. John was a steel mill worker, just got off work. He's trying to relax, have a few drinks. Then he's being bothered by these Hollywood people. So they're like, Mr. John, can we film a movie in your house? Mr. John's like, no. No, you cannot. He was not about the Hollywood people snooping around his home. So the crew decides to offer him a couple rounds of drinks. And $20,000 later, Mr. John gladly agrees to allow them to come and do some filming in his home. Now I get asked a lot, like what all scenes were actually filmed in, the house. All the exterior scenes that the house was featured in, those were filmed here. Now the house, in 1983, production equipment was really big. The inside is pretty small. So only some scenes were filmed inside of the house. And you'll know that when you were watching the movie and you're looking out the windows and you see all of that background just like you do now, you'll know those scenes were filmed inside of the house. But if you're looking in the window and they're kind of just bright, a little cloudy, you'll know those were done on an MGM sound stage. And Bob Clark had connections in Canada, which led them to do some filming in Canada as well. All right? So, other than popcorn, you can't have a movie without actors, which brings me here to the infamous Wall of Fame. We have Ian Petrella, who plays Randy. Now, he was one of 100 actors to audition for this role, but Bob Clark was sold by the way he smashed his face into a dinner plate of food and for his iconic laugh. Then we have Mr. Billingsley, who plays Ralphie. Now, he was the first to audition out of 8,000 actors. And although Bob Clark knew that he was the one for the role, he still wanted to audition all 8,000 just to make sure. And well, we see who got that. Then we have Miss Melinda Dillon, who plays Miss Parker, the mother. Now, she did not need to audition. Bob Clark actually offered her the role, and she gladly accepted. And then we have Mr. Darren McGavin, who plays Mr. Parker, the old man. Now, he was not the first choice for this movie. It's 1983. Does anybody want to take a guess at maybe who else they had in mind?
Jack Nicholson.
You're absolutely right, sir. It was Jack Nicholson. And at this time, Jack Nicholson had just got done filming The Shining. MGM Studios thought it was going to be too much of a transition, going from such an intense role into an enduring father figure. And if you're Randy and you're hiding under the kitchen sink and you're going, Daddy's going to kill Ralphie, and you got Jack Nicholson open up those cupboard doors going, well, here's Johnny. It's just not going to make for a humble Christmas story, right? So MGM Studios suggested Darren McGavin, and well, we couldn't picture that any other way. Did a great job, right? All right, guys, so in 2004, this house ended up being up for sale. It was listed on eBay. The mastermind of recreating this for us, Mr. Brian Jones, was a super huge fan. He actually started making Red Ryder leg lamps in his basement. But came across it, purchased this house sight unseen. The moment that he walked through that front door, he was like a kid in a candy store. He started reenacting scenes, just having a good time in here, right? So they completely did renovations on this house to make it look just like it did in the movie and on the sound stage. He wanted you guys to come in here and just have a good time. So with that being said, this house is completely interactive. If you want to pick up that BB gun and shoot your eye out, go for it. If you want to grow up that leg lamp in the window, by all means go ahead. I am not here to judge you. I am here to help you take pictures. If you want to pick up that leg in that fragile crate and strike a pose, have at it. If you want to be like Randy and get under the kitchen sink, I'll be here to try to help get you back out of that kitchen sink. When you go upstairs, there's a phone at the top of the staircase. Feel free to pick it up. You might hear a sweet little message. Now, when you guys do make it upstairs, there's just 3 rules. 1, we ask that you please do not sit on the boys' beds. 2, there's a chained off room with a bunch of antiques. Just don't go past the chain. And 3, if you happen to say the words "oh fudge," please do not put the Lifebuoy soap in your mouth. You might get soap poisoning. Alright? Alright guys, we've got about 15 minutes. This time is yours. The next 15 minutes, we'll meet back here in 15 minutes and then we'll head on to the next part of the tour. Thank you.
Alright, let's look around the picture. Can you stand next to it on your picture? Look at me. Look at me, man. Here's the upstairs. Here's the phone. Sorry I didn't do much talking, but the lady was giving a wonderful presentation. I recommend it to anybody. One of my other favorite movies, The Wizard of Oz. Some of the classics. Alice in Wonderland. Bumpuses. You can pause it and read that if you would like. There's this box. I'm gonna ride a BB gun. See outside, we're going to the museum in a little bit. There's the antique room she was talking about, a bunch of antiques. I believe that leads to the apartment. Here's the toilet. There's some Lifebuoy soap. Old man shaving here. Say hi. So toilets. Be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
Not in this house, but all the actual property over the museum.
I think this is where like the apartment comes in, so you can come anytime.
Oh,
See the scan? That's what I think. Don't quote me on it, but with the scan, that makes, because I know it's up, the apartment's up. It's got movies and TV. Edit this out. Little kids, I don't want to put on there. The old man's hat. Radio. They need a Zeppelin. There's the iconic turkey. There's Randy's spot, and that's the inside of the house. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe.
Window right here. So, but during renovations, they kind of boarded that up to make a downstairs bathroom for the loft guests that were staying upstairs. But when there was a kitchen window, the scene where Ralphie was defending his family against the Black Bar Gang, that was shot here. The shed, that's the original shed featured in the movie that the Black Bar Gang was trying to jump over. And then here, right in this area, well, that's where Ralphie almost shoots his eye out. And then you'll notice the iconic steel mill over the fence that helped actually leading the film crews to discovering this location. That's pretty much it for the backyard, guys. If you want to walk around and take some pictures, that's fine. In a few minutes, we'll meet over here at this bench and then we'll head over to memorial bench. Again, Bob Clark was the director. And Bob Clark actually has a short little cameo in the film. So when the neighbors are outside and they're admiring the old man's major award in the window, the gentleman swayed standing next to the old man is actually Bob Clark. And now another little funny about that, he's wearing modern day clothing, modern being 1983. Oh. But he has a Miami Dolphins stocking cap on. The Miami Dolphins were not a thing yet in the 1930s and 40s. And he has a Cleveland fireman's jacket.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes, and now he's since passed away. So that's our little memorial.
A lot of people think the old man's name is Hal because he says, "Shoot, Hal." I didn't know. Yeah. So that was, yeah. So a lot of people thought it was Hal, and they.
Yep. All right, guys, we'll go ahead into the museum. Whoa, you okay? You all right? Shake it. Shake it, please. Alright guys, well welcome to the museum. So when you guys walk around, feel free to take all the pictures that you like. All that we ask is that you please use no flash photography. Over on my right, you will see our famous fan art wall. Now, if you are a super huge fan, great artistic ability, and come up with something creative and unique that's related to a Christmas Story movie, you can submit it to us at info@achristmasstory.com and have your art displayed on our fan art wall. Now, in my right corner, you'll notice Knee-High Cola. Knee-High was a popular cola in the 1930s and 40s. And that is actually what gave Mr. Shepard the inspiration to come up with the Knee-High Leg Lamp Award. You'll notice on the Fragile crate, okay? What's it say on there?
His end up.
His end up.
Oh, I'm like,
What do you think it should say?
this end up.
This end up, yeah, so a little movie funny. As they're bringing in the major award on the front porch, it says this end up. Then when it's in the entryway of the house, it says his end up. So the crate was actually too big to fit through the front door of the home. So they cut off 6 inches to get it through, taking off the T, which left it saying his end up. So now, just a little funny, they continue making them to say his end up. All right, guys, so there's a few different rooms in here. There's actual props from the movie or things that are related to the movie. Feel free to roam around. In like 15 minutes, or when you guys are looking like you're all done, we'll meet at the Holy Grail of all Christmas presents, the Red Ryder BB gun, and I'll give you guys some fun facts. So what would you and in the subject, you enter fan art. Yeah, just call us. Okay. Yes. Yeah. And this is all for sale, right? This is all for sale, yes. Considered a campus, the business itself. So, Christmas Story House is considered a historical.
It's actually his bib from the movie. Some Randy outfits. There's like pajamas.
Yeah, that would be horrible. I would be sad.
Some story poster. Some fan art. Way too fast. Here's some Ralphie stuff. The old man's jacket.
Hi, are you looking to do a tour?
Yeah.
You'll have to go over to our gift shop, which is the gift shop is right here.
Also kind of gave it back.
The actual suits. This was a deleted scene.
Look at here.
Linda Bill's robe. This is the listing. Focus, focus. This is the listing on eBay. This was the house. We started doing the renovation. And they dedicated it. Didn't see that. Go back in time first. And this is the Bumpus house.
All Christmas presents, the Red Ryder BB gun. Now there were 6 of these made, unique pieces made for the movie. And what makes these 6 very unique, as you'll notice on this picture of Mr. Billingsley, he was actually left-handed. So they had 6 of these made for a left-handed individual. And you'll know that the tassel is on my left and the compass and sundial is on the right. Now, now we know where 4 are. We just discovered another one. But obviously we have one. Then one went to an unknown producer. Another one actually that Mr. Billingsley used right there went to him as an actual Christmas present. And then a new one was just discovered in Canada by one of the producers. So now we know where 4 are. So there's 2 of these unique pieces out there in the universe. If you got your hands on one, hold on to it. You have a cool conversation piece and a very unique piece of Christmas story history. Now, Mr. Billingsley also has the sheriff's outfit and the bunny costume, if anybody might be wondering where those are. Now, you'll see over here on good old Cleveland Street the making of fake snow. So in November of 1983, Cleveland did not get any snow accumulation at all. So they had some help in making fake snow for the movie, and they had some help from the Cleveland Fire Department. They used 3 ingredients to make fake snow. One was firefighter's foam, the second was soap suds, and the third ingredient is something that you might be able to find in your kitchen. Does anybody want to take a guess at what that might be?
Baking soda?
Good guess? It was actually instant mashed potato flakes. So the scene where Mom and Dad are admiring the snowfall, the big front picture window of the Christmas Story house, there's actually a gentleman standing on the rooftop of the Christmas Story house sprinkling instant mashed potato flakes to make it look like it was snowing. And they put fake snow all down Raleigh and Cleveland Street, you know, to make the whole neighborhood look like there was snow, obviously. Now, no Cleveland public schools would allow the fake snow to be put on their grounds. It was just a mess to clean up, which is another big reason which led them to do some filming in Canada. Canada showed out with the snow, so all the school scenes were filmed in Canada. Which leads me to talk about Miss Shields a little bit. Little fun fact about her. Now, she was played by Teddy Moore, and she was the school teacher. She was actually 8.5 months pregnant during filming. Now, in the 1930s and 40s, it was frowned upon to have a pregnant school teacher. So they put some padding around her, hide her pregnant belly bump so she could carry out her role as Miss Shields. She came here to the Christmas Story house and visited us, so all across that chalkboard in the Canada room, the A++++, she actually wrote that there for us. So that is her writing. So. All right, guys, if you guys are all done in here, we will go out to the fire truck, and I will end the tour there, okay? So here we have a 1939 Ford fire truck. Now, this is not the original. The original is actually in a museum in Canada, but this one was donated to us from a fine couple. They did a lot of restorations on it, fixed it up very nice, and it looks similar to the one that rescued Flick from the infamous flagpole. Now we're going to talk about this flagpole situation a little bit. How many of us thought that was a real flagpole? I know I did. I'm not scared to say that. I totally thought that whole situation went down. Okay? However, no children were actually harmed in the making of this film. That flagpole was a piece of PVC piping that was painted to make it look like a real flagpole. They cut a hole for Flick's tongue, and they used a vacuum suction to keep him stuck to that flagpole. All right. Now Flick was a big prankster. He would play jokes on the crew all the time. So they decided to get him back one day, and they actually went to lunch and left him stuck to that flagpole. So joke was on Flick, right? And none of the cars that were featured in the film, they were just volunteered from local car collectors in the Cleveland area. They just volunteered their antique cars and drove them through the streets and were featured in the film. When it came to doing the parade scene, they had help from 2 local high schools. One was Revere High School marching band, and Revere was actually featured in the film wearing their 1930s and 40s military style uniforms. And then they had help from Parma High School marching band. And Parma High School was actually used for the audio portion. All right, guys, this is it for me. You guys have any other questions? No. I could try to help answer? No? All right, well, I hope you enjoyed your time here at A Christmas Story House. I enjoyed my time here with you guys. If you're thinking of leaving a review and you loved your tour, you can mention me as your tour guide. Again, my name is Amanda. If you did not like your tour, feel free to make up a name. That's totally fine too. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.